as Wilco makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Hello again, and welcome to a Bergkamp Wonderland. This time, it is the prediction show with Mike McDonald, the Quizmaster General, the man who is trickier than a bag of badgers when it comes to his quizzes on the Mr. Arsenal podcast with Ryan. So, yes, it's if you haven't seen that, even now they're worth going back and watching them again. And didn't you moonlight somewhere else and do another one of those with someone else? Well, Mike's internet has been a little bit wonky at times, so it looks like he's gone to sleep. It's not. He's just frozen. There you go. He's back again.
Okay. Did you hear me?
No, didn't hear a word you said.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did one for Not Another Arsenal podcast, which is one of my favourite podcasts. It was good.
Yeah, I watched about the first 20 minutes of that, and they had no clue about your deviousness, did they?
No, they didn't. No.
Excellent. So the first thing I do is I get up the share screen and then I get the predictions and I do it like that. And then I put ours down the bottom of the screen, which I think is this one. Boom. There you go. Right. Just to confirm, your name is Mike McDonald and your Twitter is at Mike_MMCDONALD, and podcast or blog gunnerstown.com is where people can find your fine work.
Yes.
Lovely. Right. What have you gone for Premier League winner?
When I debated this one for a while, and I hate to say Manchester City, but I'm saying Manchester City.
You make me very sad indeed. What? Justify yourself. That's terrible.
Justify myself. Well, because later down the road in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to justify myself by giving Arsenal a trophy or two, and I just couldn't bring myself to believe that Arsenal are going to win more than what I'm going to predict later. And then, to me, there's only two guys that can win it, I think, is City. So, and I've got a City friend in the background here in the house, and so I want to make him happy, make him believe that I still love him. So I went with City.
Fair enough. So where does that leave Arsenal in the league?
Second.
Oh, you're the first person to say second. I suppose it's the same answer as you said before. We can't be too greedy, although I've put us down to win the Premier League and the Champions League.
Ooh, I was tempted.
Because the Premier League outside of Man City and Arsenal is very weak, and the Champions League outside of Real Madrid and Man City is the weakest it's ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, Barcelona, as we saw in the pre-season friendly, half that team are free transfers. I mean, they're good, but they're not that good.
Yeah. Well, City have just got the experience, and even if Arsenal have gained that experience by messing up this last season, those City players have been doing this for year and year, and so I don't even know if I believe myself when I say City are going to win the league. I feel like Arsenal got a great chance, but I'm struggling to think that we can win more than one biggie.
Yeah, that does make sense. Right, the next one we're going to go and do is Arsenal top goal scorer. I didn't realise 2 seasons in a row it's been Saka, all competitions. Who are you going for?
Martinelli.
Ah, good. Something new for me to type. Why?
Because I just think that there's going to be more fed to that side of the field than there has been previously. Like in pre-season, using Havertz at the back post, I'm seeing that a lot. They're using that left side as a side to finish on, I think, is my standard thought there. And so Martinelli crashing to the middle or picking up the pieces at the back post, I just feel that that's going to continue to be the side where finishing is prioritized, if that makes sense, because it's certainly not through the middle with Jesus. That's not his strength, is it? We saw that he wasn't even in the top 3 goal scorers. So I just think that Martinelli will edge it, but I'll be happy with Saka.
It's a lot we've been saying, for everyone's been saying, any Premier League team could have any of our front 3 or 4 players, and that would be the jewel in their crown.
Yeah.
And every single position we have got at the club, we have got a jewel of any other team's crown, as I was doing by going and picking one from West Ham. The only weakness I think we've got is possibly at left back, mainly because Zinchenko. Does anyone know what's up with him?
Just is it a tight something or other, a calf thing? I don't know if there's some conspiracy theory out there, but it doesn't seem like we ever hear much about it. I don't know. Was the club upset with him because he set up that Ukrainian game that they've now told him he can only play 5 minutes of? So I don't know.
It is a little bit tricky, right? I like this one. Where are Spurs going to finish? Mark said that it depends on whether they have Harry Kane or not. So he went between 6th and 8th, and he plumped for 7 to be safe. So what are you going to go for?
Okay, well, I actually don't think it will depend on that at all, because I think that much like Arsenal, their strength is their forward line, and they should be able to get 15 from Son and 15 from Richarlison. I know they got 1 from him last season, and they're going to replace Kane, so I don't think it really matters. But I've gone for 13th.
Oh, that's glorious. It's a fact last season that Richarlison celebrated 3 goals, but only actually scored 1 because 2 of them were offside. I mean, and that is spectacular. That is so Spursy. If I had the money, I'd set up a company called #Spursy, and I'd sponsor the front of their kits with it, because that is glorious. So you'd go in with 13th. Why?
Well, I am, because I'm not just doing that because I don't like Spurs. I actually dislike Manchester United more than Spurs, and I don't live in North London, so I don't have those people yapping in my ear. But it's just that I feel like every year there's at least one that surprises us by going exponentially up the league, and then one that goes the other way, as it was Chelsea last year. And I think Spurs are just primed for it. I think that Harry Kane will leave, and I think that that'll suck a lot of the belief out of them. And I don't think that Richarlison or Son are fully bought in. I think they're going to have their eye on the January transfer window. And so I just think that Spurs will fall away naturally. And the league's getting more competitive, isn't it? I've done my whole 20. I've picked the whole thing. And I didn't put them there again because I wanted to. It's just everybody that I put above them, I genuinely thought would come above them.
So who have you got going down, out of curiosity?
Let me go back here. I've got Luton. I think Luton, Danny, might beat Derby. Do you remember back?
Yes.
They got, was it 12 or 15 points or something?
Yeah. I said this on a podcast a couple, maybe 3 weeks ago. I said Luton are going to break the record for the most number of goals conceded, most number of losses, and down the soonest, because they are a League One team at best. Yeah. How the hell they've managed to do what they've done, and they're going to break. Someone's going to score 10 goals against them. They'll be the first team to concede double goals. They are horrendous. I hate them because of the League Cup final in 1988. Yeah. So what else have you got for the relegated?
I've got Luton in bottom, and then what's that? Everton, and then Sheffield United. But I think the biggest problem Luton have got, apart from just not being very good, is that the town itself, as you well know, because you don't live far from there, is one of the worst towns in England, even though it's in a nice, Hertfordshire and Bedfordshire and Bucks are nice areas. But Luton itself is absolutely awful. And so, if they were a London team or a Manchester team, they could maybe attract people to come and live in a nicer area. And then you got the stadium, which is, apart from just being a bit of a giggle, is ultimately a joke. So I think that they might actually have 10 or less points this coming season.
And it's I've only been to Luton once, and I was amazed at how beautiful some of the villages on the way to Luton are. They are stunning. But once you get to Luton, it makes Milton Keynes look like a nice place to be. And although Forest and Nottingham is an absolute dive, at least they have got a decent ground, they've got decent history, and they threw an absolute ton of money at staying up, and they managed to do it. And they've got a good manager. But Luton have got none of that stuff. But it's going to be hilarious.
No, they can't attract players. Yeah, I think actually, did you hear today that they're interested in Maitland-Niles, which I thought that would be a nice one. But either which way, it's still not going to help, I don't think.
Yeah, it's. I saw a tweet today to say that he was unemployed. No, he's not unemployed. He's a free agent, you muppet.
Yeah.
What are you going for the FA Cup winner? I said Newcastle. Mark said Arsenal, and Gav said Man City. So what are you going for?
Well, I'm going for Chelsea. I was actually in Atlanta this last weekend, was it? And went to go watch that double header, Brighton, Brentford, Chelsea, Newcastle. And Chelsea is scoring a lot of goals, and they look like, at the very least, they look like an organised unit that have been very well coached. And of course, they've always had good players. So I just feel like they'll win that. I think Pochettino will want to win something in his first season there, and I think he might focus a little more heavily on the FA Cup than others.
Yeah, I've just deleted the tweet, for God's sake. Shouldn't allow me in here, technology. It's too long now. Right, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then tweet. Lovely. Right, back to the predictions. League Cup winner. Not this really matters. It's the least important of all the trophies available. So what are you going to go for? I've gone for Villa. Yeah. Mark went for Villa, and Gav went for Liverpool.
Yeah. I'm going to go for Arsenal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Depth, Danny, I think, because now you've got so much competition at Arsenal. I was looking at a tweet from somebody yesterday picking their starting 11 against Forest, their bench, and then the players will be left out of the squad who'll be playing in the League Cup, plus the guys on the bench. And there's so much depth now at Arsenal and a genuine chance of competition. So a guy like Smith Rowe, for example, playing in the League Cup, I think is going to be a far better player than most of his opponents he's playing against, just as an example, and an opportunity for them to genuinely show Arteta that they can play in the first team. I think the competition is going to drive Arsenal to win one of the cups because of who's playing in them.
We have got an abundance of riches at the moment, and it is wonderful to see. And for so long we've got Man City. You've got 2 first teams. If we manage to sign Raya, I mean, you're an expert when it comes to goalkeepers. We are almost going to have 2 wonderful starting 11s that our backup starting 11 could probably finish top 10 easily. What do you think of the Raya situation, being a goalkeeping man?
Yeah. I like it. I like the fact that we should have probably spotted this coming because everybody else has got competition. And to me, Danny, that's what this summer's been about. Our first 11 last year was winning the league quite comfortably up until April. So I don't think the problem is the first 11. It was that Arteta didn't trust the bench. So we're going to have to bring players in that are trusted, and everybody needs competition. And he keeps talking about that. And I don't think that Turner is true competition because of his feet. So David Raya, in fact, I put a tweet out yesterday talking that I think David Raya may actually sort of revolutionise football between him and Arteta. I don't know what you think about this, but I think we're going to start to see him being subbed on when Arsenal are being high pressed and it's not working, and we need to go over the press to Martinelli and Saka, put balls in front of them, and he'll bring on a goalkeeper at half time who's better than Ramsdale with his feet, which is David Raya. And so I think he'll play more than people realise.
I was looking at the stats today. Someone did a tweet about it, and there was something that playing the ball out, Raya was twice as good as Ramsdale was. Everything else, they were virtually the same. Yeah. But that's never been done in the history of football, using a goalkeeper as a tactical substitute during a game. I mean, that would be, if that's right, and you've called that, you're a wonderful blogger as it is, but you should get a medal if you predict that and that happens. And why not? Arteta is a man who innovates as he goes.
Yeah, well, there's always going to be new innovation, isn't there? And I think that with 5 subs, Danny, and 9 on the bench, you'd have to almost have 3 keepers, 1 on the field, 2 on the bench, because if you brought one on at half time and he got hurt, but still with 9 subs, I think you could justify all of that. And why the heck not? If you watch Edison, right, at City, and sometimes they win a game by a goal because he pings a ball. And if it's just that tight of a thing and you need somebody from deep to ping a ball, I don't know why you wouldn't sub your keeper.
Oh, that was when Ramsdale's first season, when he made it to the number 1 spot. He made his name kind of with those long balls downfield to on-running Martinelli and Saka. But then after he did a couple of them, he was pulled up, and it's like it was hurting him too much to do it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's why he stopped doing it. But we did miss the quick counter-attack break last season. Champions League, what are you going to go for that?
The Arsenal.
Oh, yes, indeedy, sir. Same as me. Go on.
Yeah,
that's 3 cups. I see now why you didn't give us the Premier League, because that would have been the quadruple.
Well,
or nearly.
I gave Chelsea the FA Cup, Arsenal the League Cup, but the
Triple.
Champions League, just really what you said at the beginning, Danny, is that you just look at the competition, and I think Arsenal have got now a decent shout for being maybe the 3rd favourite to win that, behind City, Real Madrid, and I think we'd be right there with Bayern Munich and PSG, and we're now valued as we're the most valuable squad in world football.
Wow.
And I think if you're top of the Premier League for most of the season, I don't know why you couldn't put your hand up and say, hey, we could probably win the Champions League.
Oh, seems your internet has gone for a wobble. Usually if we wait 30 seconds, it comes back again, people. So, so that's Mike has predicted Arsenal to win the League Cup and the Champions League. I don't know if anyone's ever done that. Usually it's just Man City that do the win the League Cup and other things with that. Did they win that last season? I forget. Anyway, so the surprised he's not back yet. He has wonky internet. Just told Mike that he should maybe look into getting Starlink for an internet. That is wonderful. Bit expensive, but it means you get satellite internet, and you can look at all those lovely satellites flying through the sky in formation, ruining everyone's night sky, which is not much you can do about that. How long do I give him? It's we've been 17 minutes in. Oh, he's gone. He's probably going to come back again, though. Don't worry. So, just to recap on some of the stuff that we've had. Premier League winners, well, it's either Man City or Arsenal from the 4 people that have done it so far. Top goal scorer, 3 for Saka, 1 for Martinelli. Spurs' position, 7, 8th and 13th. That is hilarious. That warms the cockles of my cold, dead heart. FA Cup winner, 4 different ones: Newcastle, Arsenal, Man City and Chelsea. League Cup winner, we've had 2 for Aston Villa, 1 for Liverpool, 1 for Arsenal. Champions League winner, again, split 2 ways. Me and Mike have gone for Arsenal, and Gav and Mark have gone for Real Madrid. Top goal scorer, all competitions from the Premier League player. That's 3 have gone for Haaland. So I think Mike will probably go for Haaland as well. And then all we need from him is the winner of the Championship and the first manager to be fired from the Premier League. I'll have to edit this later, but it's live. I'm just going to sit here and what do the people in the chat think about getting Raya as a backup goalkeeper? And what does that mean for Matt Turner? And then we got the likes of Karl Hein, I think it was, the Estonian who played in one of the games pre-season and didn't look too good. Oh, Mike's back. There we go. I was just talking to myself.
Sorry.
That's okay. We know you have wonky internet out there, but we make the most of it while we've got you. Top goal scorer at all competitions from a Premier League player. What are you going to go for?
Well, I'm going to go for a weird one here. I'm going to go for Christopher Nkunku.
Oh, Chelsea.
Yeah. I think Haaland's going to get eaten by a oversized Scottish swamp dragon or something.
Oh.
And and he's going to get injured. So I think I was thinking if Haaland gets injured, who else could it be? And again, I saw Chelsea at the weekend, and he's a really, really good footballer, and he's a smart guy, and he's already scored a couple of preseason goals, and I've just got a hunch.
Yeah, he was a PSG reject, isn't he? I'm just looking here. I knew they got him from Red Bull Leipzig or Rasenball. He was at PSG for 4 seasons, played 78 games, 11 goals. I don't think I'll agree with you there, but sometimes it pays to pick something different. Championship winner, what are you going to go for there? We've had 2 with Southampton, 1 with Leicester.
Sunderland.
Oh, bloody hell, that would be a shock to see them back in the Premier League. Go on, why?
Just think that they've got some momentum going there, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be nice after. I think everybody had a soft spot for Sunderland after that documentary about them trying to get their way out of the League One, failing season after season. Before your internet goes down, who are you going to go for the first manager to be sacked from the Premier League?
Very happy to say Sean Dyche of Everton.
Oh yeah. Why? Well, you've got them getting relegated in your list anyway. So, any particular reason?
More of the same, Danny. I mean, I just think that they're going to struggle as a club, and I think that people are going to get fed up of his tactics, and I think they're going to go for a quick change. I mean, I was going to pick Luton's manager, but I don't know that you can be too harsh on whoever that guy is. I don't know who he is, but because they are who they are. But Everton want to stay in the league. So Sean Dyche. See you, Sean.
Luton manager is Rob Edwards, Welsh international, used to play for Villa, Palace, Derby, Wolves for years, Blackpool, Barnsley. Yeah, he's not going to last very long. Only 40 years old. It is odd when you see Premier League managers that are 12 years younger than I am, and he's 40, and that is extremely worrying. Right, before your internet fails us completely, where can people find you on Twitter and tell us about the latest blog that you wrote? Did you write one? I saw Dave Seeger retweet it to one today, but I wasn't sure if it was yours.
Yeah, it wasn't mine. I'll be writing one here shortly about pre-season, but I write a post-match review blog called Positives, Needs and Hopes on gunnerstown.com after every single league game or every single Arsenal game, normally apart from pre-season. And then I pop up on the, read my stuff on the in the Gooner fanzine as well, which gladly is continuing. And if you want to subscribe to that, that's a great magazine that you can buy at the ground.
Yeah, it is famous magazine and needs all the support that match-going fan. I think you can go to their website and you can buy a subscription from their website, and they need all the help they can get because they've struggled in recent years. And that is part of Arsenal folklore and history, and they've been there through the good times and the bad times. Now the good times again. So yes, they need a lot of support. Right, Mike, thank you very much for that. Hopefully, if you manage to get decent internet, I'd love to have you on because I have a soft spot for bloggers because you lot talk so much sense.
Yeah,
and it'd be nice to get you on without having to turn all the Wi-Fi and internet off within 100 miles of your house.
No kidding.
We can get it to work. Anyway, Mike, thank you very much. It's been lovely to have you on, and we will see in the coming season how many of your I think Americans call it left field, a baseball terminology of some of your left field picks. That'd be good. Right, people, we will be back at 9 o'clock. And I think it is going to be, where's my list of people? It's going to be it's going to be Stan the Man from sunny Canada. He slipped in at the last moment to fill a spot. So that'll be 9 o'clock with me and Stan. And try and be there because it'll be interesting. Right, thank you very much, Mike. And we will all see you later.
Bye now.
As soon as I scored that goal, I was fucking livid. Get down, dog. Splendid business.
He nearly caught the bloody thing. What are you talking about?
So I've just eaten a full quiche. Well, you don't often see them at Ibs, so when you see them in the supermarket, they need to be swagged, microwaved immediately, and get the brown sauce on them and bosh, Bob's your uncle.
Never